Hey everyone, how are you doing? Hope everybody's okay. It's a wet and wild Wednesday night, and so I hope you're all wrapped up warm and cozy and ready to have some fun crafting along with me. So, before we start, a couple of things I want to let you know. So, first of all, catalogs should have gone out to everybody by now. If you still haven't had one and you still want one, then please drop me a message because I do still have some spares and I'd love to get them out to you so you can get your hands on them. Hey Karen, glad you can join us. Second thing I want to let you know, celebration. We are halfway through the celebration promotion, started in January, finishes at the end of February, and this is the only celebration we get this year. The last couple of years they've trialled running celebration for like twice a year. So we had a January one, then we had a June, July one. This is the only celebration we are getting this year. So it finishes at the end of February. You get a freebie for every £45 you spend, and they have released new freebies. So there's the celebration brochure that shows you the different things, and I know we've been playing with a lot of them, and I'm going to be playing some of them tonight, but they have released some new items. Let me just flick to desk view. The new items that they've released as part of the celebration offering are items that are already in the catalogue and are available to purchase, but you can get them for free. And one of them, one of my favourites, is this kit here. So this is the Inspired by Kindness kit. You get this cute little tin. I say little, I mean, it's about the size of one of our ink pads. So it's a decent sized tin. And then, I mean, I really wonder if you could fit an ink pad inside there. No, slightly, it's not quite, it's about the same dimensions as an ink pad, but you can't fit an ink pad inside it. But what you get in the kit are these little envelopes. I think you get 8 of them. And actually, can I pop this open? Yeah, I can. You get these little discs and you can stamp. So there's stickers that comes with it. These stickers here and little seals and everything. There's a stamp set, there's an ink spot. And what I've been doing is, so these ones here, so that says "You made my day." On the other side, "Your smile makes the world a brighter place." And they are lovely just to keep the tin in your handbag and just hand out the cards to people. People that have served you in shops or on trains and buses and hairdressers and everything, just to cheer them up and make them feel happier. So that's one of the kits you can get for free right now as a celebration freebie. I'm going to flip back to me again just very quickly. Ooh, it's very bright. Let me put the lights off. Should have told you about this bit first. So yeah, celebration finishing at the end of February. Don't miss out. Next thing I just want to let you know, our Crafters Retreat has now been advertised and we have filled over half of our spaces. So if you are still interested in coming, you need to let me know really soon. Now, I know there's a couple of people who said, oh, I want to go, but I can't pay right now. That's okay. If you let me know, we can pencil in a spot for you and you let me know when you're able to pay and we can get it sorted out. You can also pay part up front and pay the rest later. But yeah, if you're interested in coming to the Crafters Retreat, then check out earlier on my Facebook page or on my website, craftwithemma.co.uk/retreats, and all the information is there. Or you can drop me a message and I'm more than happy to share information with you. That's enough chatting. Let's get to the crafting. So let me flip back again, pop the lights back on again. It's so dark at the moment. It's just because it's winter. Right. This particular bundle is one from the Spring Summer catalogue, and as soon as I saw it, I loved it. I knew this was one that I had to get. We had one like this years and years and years ago that had the speech bubbles on it, but this one I think is much cooler and much funkier. So you've got 16 stamps. So these are red rubber stamps because they haven't even used them yet, which is shocking because I do love them and we're going to use them tonight. And then you've got the matching dies, and of course the dies cut out the shapes and the images here. Hey Debbie, glad you're here. What I want to do, I'm going to use my notelets. As you know, I'm a huge fan of using Stampin' Up! Notelets because they just make life so much easier, having pre-made card blanks and envelopes and everything that fit. And I want to try a technique which I saw, I want to say it was It was either Liz Shannon or Liz Yule. I think it was Liz Shannon. I will find out who it was and I'll put the credit in the comments. But I saw this lovely card, not using this particular bundle, but using this technique that I'm going to have a go at just now and see how it works. And I'm also going to be doing these as thank you cards. So it's the thank you stamp that I'm going to be using. Because everybody who buys from me gets a thank you card. And if you use the hostess code, you get a thank you card and you get a gift. But I need to replenish my stock of thank yous. So I thought, let's give this technique a go and kill two birds with one stone. So just checking to make sure I've got the right die, and I have. So it's this die that goes with this stamp. And let's just pull the stamp out while I'm at it as well. So, yes, I know I'm terrible. I haven't yet mounted these stamps. Am I the only one who does this? They see things that they love and they have to buy, and they buy them, and the things arrive, and then we sometimes don't get instantly round to playing with them. And I wish I had more time to play. But for now, I'm going to mount this, and I get to play with you. This is one of the things I love. Every Wednesday I know I'm going to get some crafting playing time because I come and I do it with you. Hi Margaret, lovely to see you. So let me just mount these here. There we go. Lovely. So what I'm going to do is I've got my notelet, and I'm going to use the papers. We used these last week as well, but I do just love them. So this is the Dandy Designs papers because I think they're just gorgeous. These ones, as I say, celebration freebie. Grab them while you can. And I'm going to... Which ones I'm going to use? I've still got some of the ones that I had out from last week. Let's start off with the fresh freesia. So this one here with the flowers, which is just beautiful. And what I want to do is I'm going to do a layer that's going to fit on top of my notelet. So my notelet is 5 inches by 3.5. Now I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do the entire thing or if I'm going to do the layer like I normally do. Let's do the layer like I normally do. So I'm going to cut this at 3 inches. And then I'm going to cut the other direction at 4.5. So that would give me quite a large border round the edge of my notelet. And I actually like it looking slightly smaller than that. So I've got my fresh freesia card that matches, that I'm going to cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Let's do it that way there. There we go. So now I've got my fresh freesia cardstock layered with my cards, with my DSP on top of it, and then my notelet is going to go on top of that as well. I haven't stuck any of these down yet. There's a reason. Hey Stacey. No, I don't see the comments on YouTube in real time. I do go back and look at them afterwards. But yes, absolutely, I've got your name booked in for the retreat. So you don't need to worry. You definitely have got a spot. Right, what I want to do is I'm going to position my layers where I want them to be. So I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to use my speech bubble. And I want to cut through all 3 layers. Hey Ali, glad you're here. Really glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. Ah, dear. Right, let's bring over my cut and emboss. So, gonna line this up. Going to put my card on here. I'm just gonna make sure that I've got this lined up so that it's where I want it to be. I'm gonna line this one up on top of it. Then I'm going to put my speech bubble at the top there like that. Then I'm going to cover the whole lot with the plate and crank it through. So this, now because I'm cutting through the notelet and the cardstock and the DSP, I'm just going to do it once in each direction. So I've basically run it through twice. I'm glad you're feeling more yourself, Ali. Right, here we go. Let's start poking these out. Moving that to one side. So these particular dies, now you see it hasn't cut right the way through. That's okay. I can put that back on. I can do it. It's cut the DSP layer, but it hasn't cut the other layers. And that's because I'm cutting through so many layers. But it's fine. Nothing that can't be saved. Here we go. Crank that through. Should be fine this time. 3 layers, to be fair, was optimistic. 2 layers, that's looking fine. I'll lift that down now. And then let's lift that off. So, I have got my DSP layer with the DSP pattern that's popped out. And then I've got my cardstock layer here. And then I've got my notelet layer, which is here. I'm just going to carefully make sure that I poke all of that out. There we go. So what I want to do is, using my trusty Tombow, let's see, trusty Tombow. First of all, I'm going to stick down the cardstock layer, and I want to stick it down so that it's completely round that part there, round the hole that I've just cut out. Tombow is living on the edge, definitely. As always, best place to be. There we go. The good thing about Tombow is it's very forgiving. You can put it down and you can move it around and position it so that it's where you want it to be. And because I've got that hole there, I can turn it over and just make sure that it hasn't overlapped. See there? It's perfect. Well, perfect-ish. It's okay if things aren't completely perfect. This is meant to be a handmade card after all. There we go. Then what I can do next is I want to put on my DSP layer, my pretty patterned paper. To be fair, it's pretty on both sides, but it's the fresh freesia layer that I want to be putting on. Don't go too heavy with the glue because you don't want it to splurge everywhere. But let's layer that up. Again, the Tombow allows you to position it, move it around, check on the other side, make sure that it's all nicely lined up. So there we go. So now I have my notelet with a hole cut out in the centre. Now what I want to do, so this one that I had before, see, I've seen it done different ways, but this one, so I could either stick that on there like that. Do you know what? We're going to try this out a couple of different ways. Let's try this out. I want to use my stamp, and I know I just mounted it on a clear block, but actually this is a job for the Stamparatus. Let me grab my Stamparatus. Right. If anybody's looking enviously at my lovely Stamparatus bag, I do have some more of them. So if you want a Stamparatus bag to go with your Stamparatus, get in touch with me, because those items have sadly retired now. And it is gorgeous, isn't it? Come on, Stamparatus bag. We love the Stamp Practice bag. Right. I managed to stick my stamp down there. Let's see which way we want to do this. So, I'm going to ink up my stamp. Let's see, I'm going to use one of the outlines. Let me show you what I'm doing here. Putting the outline around the edge of that stamp there. And then I'm going to close it over, press it down. So now, actually, do you know what I should have done? I should have got the magnets first. Let's get the magnets out first. So now the outline should, she says, optimistically, should be perfectly positioned for my stamp. Let's get my ink pad. What do we say? Same colour, contrasting colour. Tempted by a contrasting colour here, actually. Or black. Do you think black might be nice? Good question, Stacey. It depends a lot on the way you put in the dies. So different dies are best to position in different ways. But the pressure that this one goes on right the way through when you're doing the roller, it's one of the best machines that I like. Do you know what? I'm gonna go with this colour just now. If you can think of any other suggestions for colours, then please put them in the comments. You know, I love a good recommendation. But for just now, let's stick to the same colour. There we go. And I'm going to do my basic white one first. So if I put my cutout shape in here, in theory, this should work. Let's see if this works. Yay! It did. Let's take that out. So now I have my thank you in Fresh Freesia, which I can put in here. Actually, here's what I'm thinking. I could have, yeah, I'm going to use the frame. Right, I'm gonna line this up. You can tell me if it looks right with Fresh Freesia or if I should use a different shade. Might be too much Freesia. But what I want to do is I want to put this in and have it as a frame, but I'm going to stick that to that part of the card. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Let's use my Tombow. Trusty Tombow, because it allows me to move and reposition things where I need. So, closing my card first of all, so that I get my positioning. So this is the card stock one that I did. So this is in the Fresh Freesia card that cut out. Just pressing that round. And then of course, when I open it up, I want to make sure that that's pressed down nice and firm. There we go. So now I've got my card that's closed like that. Just hold that up so you can see. And there's a wee bit of texture on there too. Do you see there's like embossing on that inner, actually? See it better there. Do you see how it's not just flat, it's embossed? So there we go. And then my thank you, which I was going to do flat, but actually foam pads. Flat or foam pads? Maybe just flat is fine. Let's just go for flat. For this first one at least. We can experiment with this. We've got all night. And I've got lots of notelets. Lots of cardstock. Let's just do this one flat. See how it goes. Oop, what am I doing? Had a little bit on there, so I wanted to rub it off with my eraser. I nearly put glue on it instead. That was very silly. So there we go. So this is just a really cute, quick and easy thank you card where the die basically makes the aperture at the front and then uses just that bit there. What do we think? Do you like that? And then this little speech bubble that I've got left over. Where are my notelets? I've got the envelope. Let's just pop that. Could almost be like the stamp. Turn it around. Put it in the middle and that's where the address could be. Put it as the back as a seal. Oh, let's decorate the envelope. Right, while you're telling me where I can put this, let's have a look at the envelope and get that decorated. I've shown you how to do this before, but it never gets old. So what I'm going to do is put glue on the outside flap of my envelope. So remember, that's the bit that sticks down. So this is the outer side. And then I'm just going to stick my DSP down. There we go. And then with my scissors, I'm just going to trim round the flap. This is a really, really effective way to get a decorated envelope. It takes no time at all and it looks really gorgeous. There we go. See? So now I have a cute little card with a decorated envelope to go with it. Thanks, Ali. I agree. The cut and emboss machine is one of the best ones out there, if not the best one. Okay, so there's our first little thank you card. I'm quite pleased with that. I think that's quite cute. Haven't decided where I'm going to stick that. Might stick that on the envelope there. Could go inside as well. No, let's leave it off for just now until, if you've got any ideas of where you think I should stick that, polite ones, then let me know. Let's now move on to my second card. So I'm going to get another notelet. These packs of notelets, honestly, lifesavers. If you want quick and easy cards, then this has absolutely got to be what you've got to get. We've got them in the basic white, we've got them in very vanilla as well. And I think I showed you the crumb one as well, the craft paper ones, crumb cake ones that we had. I've used them for the thistle, do you remember? Right. So the next one I'm going to do, looking at my papers, I wanted to use a granny apple green one. The stripes, this pattern here. What colours would you like to see me use? Ooh, I could use the stars again. That would be pretty. Right, while you lot are deciding what colour I should use next, I'm going to do a granny apple green one. By the way, my lovely friend Debbie Prince has been making lots of gorgeous cards and she's been using these papers as well. I saw one that she did earlier using these papers and the owl stamp set, which is such a cute stamp set. It's not one I bought and now I'm quite disappointed that I didn't buy it. I might yet get it. Again, it's a celebration freebie, but I've seen her do beautiful things with it. So if you are looking for more inspiration, Deb's Crafty Doodads on Facebook, I would highly recommend you check out some of her beautiful designs. And she's going to be coming to the retreat as well. So we've got some really, really lovely, fun and creative, talented people going to be joining us at the retreat. And it's going to be so much fun. I do a business stamp. You know, I do have a stamp that's got my business name on it, but what I usually do is I print labels out because then I can stick them on the back and I can change them up as much as I need, so I can point to different websites or I can say this card used this project. But I love the idea of doing it with the speech bubbles because I do really love the speech bubbles. I think they're really cool. Right. Gonna cut. Do you know what? Here's a top tip. If you're using the notelets, so the notelets are a really useful size And a lot of the time I'll make bulk notelets. So I'll want to cut the layers, and it's just as easy to cut 5 as it is to cut 1. So this is my sheet of A4. If I put it in at 4 3/4 inches and cut, and then this piece here I'm going to put in at 3 1/4 inches and cut, and then this piece I flip around and I'm going to slice, so 4 3/4 inches and 4 3/4 inches, and then the previous bit I had I'm going to do at 3 1/4, and I can get that 3 times. So in no time at all I have cut 5 layers for notelets. So in my mind it's just as quick and easy to cut 5 as it is to cut 1, and I know I'll use them because I use these notelets all the time, and Granny Apple Green is one of my favourite ones. Hey Linda, glad you're here. I think I've said hi to you already, Debbie, but we'll always say hi again. Right, so there's my Granny Apple Green layer and my DSP to go with it. Let's pop the trimmer off to one side. Now, will we do thank you again, or will we do a different one? Let's do the hello. I think the hello is quite cute. Or no, one thing at a time. I get this, the problem is I look at them and I get lots of ideas, and I was like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. But do the first idea and then do the next idea. You're going to have so much fun at the retreat, Stacey. Honestly, we're going to have an absolute blast. Let's see. Let me put these down. So this one obviously uses a different size of speech bubble. So let's get the one that corresponds with this. These speech bubbles are so cute. They are honestly just adorable. Because you can, I don't know if you can see there, you've got the speech bubble that cuts out the exact same as the stamp, but then you've also got this outer layer that you get as well. So it's really cool. You can, and yes, so you, at the moment, Stacey, you've just got the Spring Summer catalogue, the big catalogue, which I have got one and will put in the post to you. Where's my big catalogue? I had it here a minute ago. Here's my demo copy. Whoops. Yeah, so this is the annual catalogue. So it has lots and lots and lots of stamp sets in it. There's lots of different bundles, but if we look at the back, you've got, so these are all the colours that we've got. These are our colour families. So there's 4 different colour families, and then there's 5 colours that come out each year. So this is the 21 to 23. They run for 2 years, and this is the 22 to 24 set, and it runs for 2 years. So these ones will retire at the end of May, whereas these ones will run for another year, but we'll get another set of 5 that will come in. So very exciting. And so you can buy all of the ink pads, you can buy packs of cards, you can buy them individually, or you can buy them in multi-packs. So you can get, where's the page on multi-packs? This one here. So you can buy card assortments where you get a selection of each of the different colours. This is also, the catalogue shows you all the different designer series papers. You can see we've got lots of different packs. And for each of them, it tells you which colours, let me hold that up. So it tells you which colours are in the paper, so you can get the matching inks and cards if you choose. You've also got all of our embellishments, our ribbons, and again, these all coordinate. So so this one here, so this is our Fresh Freesia ribbon, which matches our Fresh Freesia cardstock, which matches our Fresh Freesia ink pad, they all coordinate. It's very, very good for coordination. Right, where was I at? Card. We're doing the Granny Apple Green one. I do love Granny Apple Green. So this one, I want to do it in this direction. And I'm going to do 3 speech bubbles all the way along. So let's get out my cut and emboss again. And this time I'll remember that I'm going to have to roll it through a couple of times to make sure that I get the impression that I need. Oh dear. Do you know what? My craft room is an absolute tip right now. I really need to tidy it up because everything is absolutely everywhere. And everybody who knows me and who's been here is laughing because they say, Emma, even when you think you've tidied, it's still messy. And they'd be right. But I try. I do try. Okay. Let me move the cut and emboss around here so that you can still see it. I want to have these positions, so I'm going to do 3 of them. But because I do 3, I'm going to do the centre one first, because then it's easier to space the other 2 out on either side. Yeah, Karen, I'm sorry you're not going to be able to make the retreat. We are planning more. In fact, at the moment, I mean, we're still planning this one and getting everything finalised for it, but we're talking about doing a Christmas one, which I reckon would probably be around about October time, September, October. We're still in very early days yet for that though, but definitely watch this space. We are really looking forward to doing things in a retreat style setting, and obviously from this one we'll take feedback and suggestions, things that people like that they want to see more of, things that could have worked differently because we can always improve, and it's about making sure that we do things that are right for the people who want to come. There's absolutely no point in doing it if nobody likes it. So there we go. So has that cut all the way through? You see, if you turn it over and it's not cut quite all the way through, that's okay. I can pull those bits off, gently pop those bits off, and let's put the die back on to cut through the final layer. There we go. Oh yeah, heard that one go through. That only needs once. One and done. There we go. Right, so now I've got my first one. Now I want to do my second one. So let's layer these back up again. Have them where we want them to be. There we go. So first one's done there. Let's do the second one. And if I'd been smarter, I'd have done them at a jaunty angle so it didn't matter if they didn't line up. But I didn't do that, and so now I want to make sure that they line up. Never be afraid to try things in different ways. It's okay for things not to be perfect. At the end of the day, these are handcrafted items, handmade items, and they are not expected to be perfect. If it's perfect, then they just look machine made. Right. You have to do it times the pressure goes behind. So if I was only running through a single layer, this would have no problems at all. It's because I'm trying to cut through 3 layers at the same time that it's struggling a little bit with that bottom one. You can see these 2 layers have cut through no problem. It's because I'm trying to cut 3 layers. So ever the optimist, me, trying to do more than perhaps the machine was designed to do. But for single layers or even double layers, you'll have no problem at all. Line that up. I'm also thinking I need to change my plates out soon because they're getting, you can see they've had many impressions run through them, but I think I've also done it when I've had glue on them. because now the glue is coming off on my card and I'm going to have to clean that off. And I've got my glue be gone and I can do that, but it would be far easier to keep it just neat and tidy in the first place. And now I've dropped the die. What does that say? When you drop things are lucky when you drop them. A lot of the time at my classes things get dropped and end up on the floor. So I have a lot of very lucky stamp sets and punches and dies, and yes, very lucky. Very lucky indeed. Right, third one now. Let's finish this off. Third one here. I'm going to position it. This paper is actually quite a good choice to do because it almost has grid lines on it, which makes it easier for lining up the bubbles the way I want them to be. Let's see. Crank it through. You don't need that much pressure going through. Oops. Back we go. Go. So the craft fair at the SEC, Stacey, so that's one which we've been doing for a few years, and we've actually decided that we're not going to do it this March because the March shows have been a lot quieter in the past. So we are going to be there in October, but we've decided not to go to the SEC this March. And we're going to run the retreat instead. So that is our plan for next month. But there are lots of other companies and lots of stands that are there that do lots of different things. And let's face it, a lot of us cross craft. We like things from other crafts. I do a lot of black work, so I do a lot like cross stitching, and I've done glass painting and stuff like that as well. If I was doing a bulk make, would I do one at a time? No, I probably wouldn't do one at a time. I would design the first card because the design is always the bit that takes the longest. And then once I had my design, I would cut out all the layers, and then I would do all the stamping, and then I would do all the gluing and things like that. That's probably how I would do it if I was doing bulk card making. But as always, it's each to their own, it's personal preference, it's whatever is going to be right for you. Now then, that's annoying, that one's moved slightly, but that's okay. That's okay, it's not going to be a problem. Let's poke that out. Wait and see, no one's going to be any the wiser that last one moved. She says very optimistically, and just trimming that very slightly. It's fine, it's not a problem. Right, trusty Tombow. Very thin amounts of Tombow down the middle there, because I don't want it to splurge out everywhere. Let's line this up with my outlines. There we go. Tombow lets me move things, it's very forgiving if it's in the wrong place. And yes, I've got slight overlap on that one, but it's not going to be a problem, trust me. I have a plan, I have a cunning plan. Let's put on the DSP layer. Tombow has to be one of my favourite glues. It's so easy to work with, so forgiving, so I can move things around if they haven't gone exactly where I wanted them to be. It's a lovely glue. Seems silly to get excited about things like glue, but we're allowed to. We're allowed to get excited about things that we like. Right. So now what I want to do, oh goodness, I didn't realise the camera had moved. My apologies. So what I want to do is all of my bits that have cut out multiple times. I've got white ones, I've got green ones, I've got patterned ones, got all of these ones here. Yeah, that's the one that moved. Wish I'd spotted that. It's not a big deal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in. So let's start with a green frame. Let's have a white frame at the end. And let's have a pattern in the middle. Am I going to do the pattern? No, do you know what? I'm going to leave the pattern out. I don't think it adds anything. Or will I put the pattern at the start? Pattern at the start, then the green, then the white. Because you see, then what I was thinking is to have a pattern in the middle. So you've got the green outline. Let's put the green at this side with a patterned outline. So you've got green bubble, green outline, and then for the final one, that's where the sentiment's going to be. Tell me what you think of that while I do the sentiment, because I'm not 100% sold on it. It's my suggestion at the moment, but you know I value your opinion. Let me know what you think. And while you're deciding that, have I got shares in Tombow? I wish I did. I would be far wealthier if I had shares in Tombow. You think no pattern? You don't think it gives a nice effect? Makes it look like a smaller speech bubble? Just... Plus, I think once it's stuck down, when you look at it on the inside, let me poke them out. See? Yeah? Which now makes me wonder whether you even need the white one at the end there at all. You like it, Stacey. Thank you. That's very nice. Anybody know where I put my stamp? I think I've stuck it to something and it's gone missing. Where's the stamp gone? It is going to be much trickier to stamp this if I can't find the stamp. This has happened to me before. I've accidentally stuck stamps to the backs of... Actually, I wonder if it's stuck to the back of the cat. There it is. Stuck it to the back of the catalogue. No wonder I couldn't find it. But that tells you as well. See these stickers? A lot of people don't like putting the sticker onto their stamps because they think it's not going to stick anymore. But honestly, these new cling stickers that go with the stamps, they really do cling. It is no joke. Right, so as before, put my stamp on there. Let's use one of my outline pieces to put around the outline of my stamp. Then I'm going to carefully shut it over, place it down, lift it off, and then use the magnet to hold that in place. And the same with the other. Oh, goodness. Right. Don't let the magnets get close to each other or else they will snap together. And if you catch your fingers in between it, it is very, very ouchy. So let's try that one again. Let's see. Place it on, turn it over, stamping a dark green on the granny apple. Ooh, that's a good idea. Let me first of all put that there and use this. Nah. I'm just going to use the one. They're too close to each other. It's too small a thing. So dark green on the granny apple. I like your thinking. And so for the dark green, shaded spruce, I think. Let's bring out some greens and we can have a look. Excuse me. Right. The green to go with the granny apple. So already I'm thinking evening evergreen is probably too dark. So let's pop that to one side. Could be garden green. Could be shaded spruce. Could be mossy meadow. think I'm leading Shaded Spruce, to be honest. What do you think? Cast your votes. Shaded Spruce is this green one here. The middle one, so Garden Green. Oh no, middle one was this one, Mossy Meadow. So Mossy Meadow, is that what we're thinking at the moment? Or Garden Green? Garden Green could go well. Mossy Meadow. Okay. Garden Green or Shaded Spruce. So basically all of you are voting for different ones. Garden Green, 2 votes for Garden Green. I'm afraid I go with the majority. Sorry, Stacey. We'll try Mossy Meadow another time. But for just now, let's go for Garden Green. Right. There we go. Now, that's annoying. Just because of where the magnet was, it hasn't done the outline all the way around. But do you know what? I'm going to pull this close and let you see this. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it. So with my Garden Green ink pad, I'm going to take, this is a blender pen, not to be confused with our blends, which are our alcohol markers. But if I just pick up with this, you can see it turns it into a pen. So if I use this, I can just draw the outline onto the stamp like that. And then all I need to do is just scribble on scrap paper till it goes clear again, and I can use that to pick up any other colour of ink that I want. Blender pens, really useful. Right, let's bring this back out again. And now let's start sticking stuff together. So, what had we decided on? That's going to go in the end one. I know that. I want that one to be there. At the moment, I am thinking about having a white frame around it. The one in the middle, green frame with the pattern, like that. And then the last one, so the decision is just green on its own, green with pattern, to make it look like it's a smaller speech bubble. That's what I was thinking. If you have it with the pattern, then it just looks like a smaller speech bubble. What do you think? The glycerin in the blender pen can leave a residue on your ink pad. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Never had a problem with it before. What you can do instead though, Ali, if you're worried about residue in your ink pad, remember you can squeeze your ink pads slightly in the middle. Try to see if it shows you. Don't know if you can see that flexing, but it means that when you open it up, you've got a bit of ink on the lid, and then you can use your blender pen to pick up the ink from the lid, and then there's not any residue that would be left on your ink pad. So, but that's good to know, Ali. I will remember that. Plus, remember that we've got the re-inkers that you can use to re-ink your ink pads if you do have any spots. Right. I'm going to start with this one at the end because I know that I want that to be white and green, and you can help me decide about these ones, what you think. But let me start off with my white and green one at this side. So let's start with this. Drop that one on the floor. It's fine. Got another one over here. Just use this one. That's the joy of cutting something out 3 times. If you drop one, you've got another one handy. Right. Just thin amounts of Tombow. You really do not need much at all. Given that my Tombows, I have a really bad habit of when I go to a class or a party, I take a new Tombow. But that means that I have lots of Tombows that are kind of like half done. And so what I do is I put them in a tub and then I use them when I'm crafting myself. But it does mean that I really am reluctant to throw out any tombos because I keep thinking I can get more out of that. You know, I can shake it a bit harder, I can get more. Let's put that on there like that. Pop it up, pop it out. Bada bing, bada bong. And then my green stamped sentiment here. That's going to go inside like that. There we go. Right, so that's the white one. Next one down is going to be my green with the pattern. Let's do that next one. And then we're just left with the very, very leftmost one for us to decide how we're going to do it. Oh dear. Right, if too much comes out, remember you can just lift it off onto something else that's going to get stuck down. So don't worry when things like this happen. And yes, part of me saying that is saying that to me as well. Don't worry, Emma, don't worry. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't panic, don't panic. There we go. You would do white with dark like the last one. I like your thinking, Stacey. That's a nice idea. So at the moment, we've got, actually, yeah, that's a really good idea. I am going to pick up that white one that I dropped then. Let's see. What do we think of that, ladies? White and dark? That's a good idea. I like that. And actually, ooh, because we've got other stamps in here as well, it's not just the hello and the words. We could do the little hearts, or we could do the flower. I think the flower might be cute. Should we do the flower on that last one on here? Let's do that. You see, this is why I love crafting with you, because I get ideas and inspiration, and we do things differently, and we collaborate, and you lot are amazing. Right, let's use, what colour did we use before? It was mossy, no, we didn't use mossy meadow, we used garden green, didn't we? Let's use garden green on this little one here. Right. There we go. So, the little tulip. I think that's a really fab idea. Could you fit 2 flowers into it? Probably. Right, we've got another one. Let's try this. Let's try this and do the 2 flowers. I think the 2 flowers might look prettier than the 1 flower actually. So it is a good idea. Let's put one there and one there. What do you think? The 2 or the 1? Shall I zoom in on it? Is it easier to see if I zoom in a little? She says, pulling down the camera. The 2 or the 1? You guys decide while I stick the white frame in. You've got a good eye for this, Stacey. I'm glad that you're on board with this. And that's the thing. While I love designing and I love card making, you're never too good to learn from somebody else. I love learning from other people. I love being inspired by other people. And the day that I think I know it all is the day I should hang up my boots and give up, because you can always learn something new. Always learn new ideas, new designs. The 2, yeah. I think you're right. The 2 is definitely the way to go. Let's position this back. And let's pop that in place. We're doing all of these flat. I did think about foam dimensionals to raise them up, but actually because of the texture that you get and the fact that we've got multiple layers, you don't need the dimensionals. Doing it flat is enough. Let's pop that in there like that. There we go. And that's our third card then. So we've got the die cuts at the top, we've got our flowers and our hello in the middle, and our little bit of DSP that's cut there as well. Hey Margaret, glad you're here. Yeah, so what do we think? Do we like that card as well? Should we do a decorated envelope for it as well, just quickly? One of my friends always says, you know, never have a naked envelope. So let's just decorate this one as well. Because even then, if you decorate the envelopes, you could make this as a gorgeous little gift card set. You know, I think this Tombow really is dead this time. Oh no, you see there's more coming out. There's more coming out. Yeah, you could do a set of note cards to give as a gift to somebody. Yeah, no, that one is dead. It's all right, I've got a second one here. Yeah, we've got plenty of glue in there. There we go. Yeah, you could do a set of decorated notelets and matching envelopes. And if you made these and just bundled them up in a little gift box, then I think that would be a really pretty gift to give to somebody. There was a girl who I was working with who was going on maternity leave, and lots of people were, I mean, we chipped in and we all got her a present, of course. But I made her a set of thank you cards. She knew she was having a little girl, and so I did a whole load of thank you cards in pink, because I thought when you have a baby, people give you lots of things, and she might not have time to go and buy cards or to do anything. So having thank you cards as a gift for someone is a really nice idea. Same for somebody who's got married or somebody who's had a big birthday. If you give them a gift of thank you cards, it lets them say thank you for all their other gifts. There we go. Right, so we've done 2 cards. Watercolour washing yesterday, absolutely. There we go. Right, so we've been going for about an hour. I think that's probably us for this evening. But these are the 2 cards with matching envelopes that we've done tonight. And again, that's been using the Conversation Bubbles stamp set and the coordinating dies. And these are the Dandy Delights papers, which are celebration freebies, celebration finishing at the end of February. So I hope you have enjoyed this evening. I certainly have. Let me flick back so that I can see you face to face. And let's kill these lights because they're horribly harsh when they're on me. There we go. But yeah, thank you very much for crafting with me, everyone. Thank you for all your input and your ideas. As always, if you try out any of these designs or ideas, please share with me. I love to see them. And yeah, I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye.